Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Capricorn October 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Well, this month we have a great deck to use. It's called Mystical Moments. It was very generously given to me by somebody. In fact, all of my decks that I use have been given to me by people. Did you know that a deck will work better if it's been given to you rather than if you acquire it yourself? But, you know, you can still use things you've acquired for yourself, of course. Did you know I provide clairvoyant readings for people from all over the world over FaceTime and Skype? And if you might be interested to see what's involved in finding out about what's ahead for you, then just check out the information that's in the description below. Now, I charge for those. I have to. You know, I've got expenses like everybody. I've got more expenses than you can believe. But there is another spiritual gift that I was provided with at birth, and that is the gift of healing. Now, healing I provide for free. Now, you may well say, well, look, it's not worth anything if it's being provided for free, is it? I mean, if it was worth anything, the guy would be charging for it. Well, look, nothing could be further from the truth. I know in my soul that the reason why this gift ended up with me, and there's nothing special about me, is for there's three conditions attached to it. Number one, I must use it. Number two, if someone asks me for it, I must provide it to them. And the third thing is, I can receive nothing in return, because the healing comes from me and comes through me, and not from me. I mean, you can probably put two and two together and work out where it does come from. So if this does speak to you, and I mean, you might just be at your wit's end about something, could be anything. I've been doing it for so long now that, I mean, you may not even have been born when, and there's nothing I haven't seen or heard, and I forget everything at the end of a session. I've been doing it for so long. Now, if it speaks to you, go into the description, see the contact, and I'm very happy to do it when we set up a time. Now, there are no video ads in this content today, so you get to experience the reading the whole way through without interruption. And I think we're only going to need 5 cards because they're very, very talkative, so show me the magic. 8 of Pentacles, beautiful. Ace of Swords, beautiful. The Sun, beautiful. Judgment, beautiful. And there's the King of Cups, beautiful. Did I tell you that I think that this art is beautiful? Why don't I bring the camera around so that you and I can look at the art that's on these cards together while the cosmic energies swirl and speak to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Brilliant powers of the mind, a great turning, the highest energy card that you can get, a turning point towards success, abundance, love, making things happen and also drawing to success, maybe sorting a few things out and moving on. Someone quite interesting in your life here, I think. Let's see what comes up. What do we have here? Now, this has got you all over it, you know. This is the Lord of the Root of the powers of air in the Ace of Swords here. A lot of Capricorn here. I think Pisces and Aquarius might also be interesting to you at this time. I think that your unconscious energies are becoming accessible to your conscious mind. And the energies released in this process are now available to be fully used. Your thoughts, your mind, that's what's important. Now, your thoughts, of course, they are pictures that you draw in your mind. You draw them in your mind, and you put words around them. And the most important words that you will ever hear in your life are the words that you speak to yourself. they cut deeper than anything. What I see here is intellectual clarity, original thinking now, brilliant powers of thought. And I go so far as to say that there is also, in some sense, well, I'm getting divine inspiration given the other energies that are around here. Look, you have an inborn power to work out that a presence is arising within you that is not the mind. The divine is giving you a kiss from within, and even a lightly blown kiss from the divine. Well, that will be enough to stir you into embarking upon the search for freedom. That kiss will set your heart on fire, and your present clarity is a wonderful condition for your undertakings. You will be able to recognize facts and to call by name things which maybe other people would prefer to keep under the carpet. Now, this entails a great responsibility on your behalf, you know. Be sure never to express your insights heartlessly. But when you are fully in contact with love, then use your mind without sparing yourself or others. Now, I can't help but go to this central energy here. It's just so good for you. The sun. Now, what this is saying is, this is the Lord of the Fire of the Word. Highly creative energy, an awareness, fulfilled love relationship here, wisdom, probably some spiritual development as well. This, if I were to sum it up in one word, would be yes. You may well hear of marriage. Definitely there's success, good fortune, good luck, optimism, and happiness coming around here. Now, the sun, of course, is the source of life, and it represents success and abundance for you. And this is going to follow you at your life at present. And the energy here is going to get you through any tough times at all. I think this is also going to shine down upon your path, showing you the way after what I suspect may well have been a trying time. So embrace your goals and give it everything that you've got now. And if you have had tough times, do know this, things are getting better. You can now move mountains. Do you know that the fulfillment of your wishes is possible here and now? So relax and just give yourself up to the dance. The right partners will find each other. Now, you're very ambitious, so what task or project is on the agenda for you now? Visualize the light and warmth of the sun in your chest and heart for the next few days, and remind yourself several times daily that the sun is shining in and through you. And say to yourself, I work well in teamwork situations. I enjoy making contributions to group efforts. I am a cooperative person. And I am in harmony with the divine light which fills and guides me. Now, this is also a particularly good energy for you here. I have the sun again here, this time the sun ruling the first decan of Virgo, the 23rd of August to the 2nd of September. Virgo is your sister sign, the mutable sign of Earth. You're the cardinal sign of Earth. And what Virgo does, it takes the lessons that you and Taurus have come together with, and then it refines them and puts them into practice. So this is good for you. It's as if this is doing all the work for you. Now, what I also have here is the number 8. Here I have a mystical association with the planet of Mercury with the number 8. Well, that's particularly good for you also because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo and it's also exalted in Virgo. Now, look at this girl. There are, I suppose, 8 butterflies. She is very painstakingly, step by step, moment by moment, patiently painting the colours onto that butterfly wing there, and I think patience is going to be rewarding you because there is a strength, I think, in sometimes doing nothing at all. Sow the seeds and sit back and wait for them to grow before the harvest. There is here a flowering of your internal and external richness. Something of a carefulness here as well. I have to admit, I do see pregnancy and birth around here as well. You might be being cautious and taking calculated risks. You might be careful with money. Physically cautious, I think. And unsurprisingly, you will have an attention to structure and detail. Look, in a sense, this is not about overextending yourself or underextending yourself, but rather just being in the sweet spot here. This is a time of flowering for you that relates to internal and external richness. As you unfold in equal measure on all the levels of being, a deep sense of balance develop, and this will in turn affect your dealings in business, in work, and other interpersonal relationships. Now, because of this multifaceted flowering that's going on here, I'd suggest that extremes and excesses should be avoided because the flowering is a delicate process which can really only handle itself where there's some calm. Yeah, patience, that's what I was talking about here. Remember that for you, patience is not the ability to wait. Patience is to be calm no matter what happens. Constantly take action to turn it to positive growth opportunities and to have faith to believe that it is going to work out in the end while you are waiting. Now, in a sense, I think that you can bring up the example of water here. Now, water does not resist. Water flows. When you plunge your hand into it, all you feel is a caress. Now, water is not a solid wall at all, is it? It won't stop you. But water always goes where it wants to go, and nothing in the end can stand against it. Water is patient. Dripping water wears away stone. Remember that. And also remember that you are half water. If you can't go through an obstacle, go around it. Water does. So you need time and patience to develop something now. Don't rush it, as it's a long-term thing that you have in mind, and be prepared to bide your time and let it come into fruition. But this is encouraging you to keep doing what you are doing, as it is eventually going to lead to success. Now, of course, you need dedication, focus, and patience, but as time passes by, you get closer to your goal. And you may not be aware of it, but things are going on in the background that are leading you to your destination. That which is coming into flower in you is of exquisite beauty and delicacy, so provide for it the protection and the nourishment that it needs. You don't need to force anything. Now, are you giving yourself the protection and nourishment that you need for your development. But really, this is all working out for you, so you should say to yourself, I relax and trust life. And then, of course, using the gift of this brilliant mind that you have now, I'm sure you're going to put it to some use. Here is what I'm intuitively getting here. This is speaking to me of you being obviously very smart in how you're going about things. Now, you might find that you actually get involved in some very critical self-analysis here. There's a time of closure here, resolution of definite action that's going on here, a decision which may well have a major impact on your life, such as a lifestyle or a career, a relationship. But these are all positive for you. There could well be a life-changing experience which comes about as well. Do you know this is time to move on after you seeing the bigger picture? So I'm sure it's a good idea now to take some time out to see that big picture. But this is leading to a natural period of growth and shedding things and people which no longer serve you. Is there a particular person in your life that is repeatedly choosing not to honor you and is causing you more sadness or pain than they are joy? The joy has gone out, has it? Well, it might be time to release that friendship back to God and trust that it is not where you belong. Now, it might well be that you are thinking about emotional relationships and look, I'm looking at this woman here, but a competitive and insecure woman will tell you that true love is never giving up on someone you're in love with. But a confident and spiritual person knows that moving on doesn't mean that you never loved someone. You realize that letting go is what God needs you to do, because both your happiness and theirs requires taking different journeys for spiritual growth. Letting go is sometimes the hardest thing, but it is the most real love you will ever experience. And for women in particular, I think, well, in general, but certainly in situations that you might be considering here, whether they're work-related or anything else, every woman needs these three things: self-esteem, self-love, and self-confidence. Now, a woman that possesses all three is an empowered and unstoppable queen. She knows her worth. Everything about her represents quality. Her happiness comes from within first. She respects herself. She values who she is. She's not easily impressed or persuaded by people or things. She has a purpose and a direction. An admirable being is what she is. Extraordinary and highly desirable. She is beautiful. The thing is that sometimes the door closes on a relationship, romantic or not because we've failed, but because something bigger than us says this no longer fits our life. So lock the door, shed a tear, turn around and look for the new door that is now opening. It's a sign that you are no longer the person you were. It's time to change into who you are. and it is going to be okay. Now finally, I think it's finally, isn't it? Let's have a look here. We have, this might be somebody interesting in your life. Could be male or female. These court cards, of course. What strikes me, of course, is the turbulent water and the fact that this is a ship that's sailing away. Now, it's turbulent water, I guess, because esoterically king is fire, cups is water. Fire and water don't mix, and so there's going to be some turmoil, some mental civil wars associated with you or somebody. I think it's with somebody else that's going on here. But the first thing that I will say to here is that you are now getting into higher emotional ranges, really. And you do have the ability to really enjoy an emotional relationship and take it to a higher level of exchange and mutual understanding. You will unfold your beauty and offer it to the other person, and also in service to the higher person. Now, it could also be another person here, which could be a man or a woman. Now, I'm getting Aquarius and Pisces around here, but you might know who this is. This is someone who, I've got to say, ultimately is someone who just has a problem committing to something. They're kind of amiable, they're friendly but passive. They've got the qualities of Venus or of a weak Jupiter. They're friendly, but on the whole, they are so superficial that it is hard to reach their depth. Their name is written in water. They can really be attracted to excitement. They're sensitive, I think. But deep down, they're actually very shallow. And they will try to get out of taking up their share of responsibilities. They may not be in your life for very long. Someone could come in and then leave. Or they could come in, go out, come in, go out. So it's not a permanent type of thing, that I say, although I could see it going on here. Now this person, if you look at their history, it could just be a record of failed work experience, broken relationships. In a nutshell, their background is a record of failure. But with this conflict that's going there between fire and water, this could be someone who is contending with the mental civil wars going on in their head, which may well lead to substance abuse. It could also be someone who has a bipolar or an ADHD that's being self-medicated with alcohol or substances. Now, at best, they're loving and generous and supportive. And I will say this, and the gay and lesbian audience make the necessary adjustment, please, but they love the opposite sex, and the opposite sex loves them. Ruled by emotions they are, not practical. Over the top when it comes to emotions, needing constant reassurance, and ultimately someone who is shallow, highly emotional, and unreliable. Well, I'm sure you'll be able to deal with them. What a great set of cards for you.
You did a great job there, well done. And didn't I say the art was fantastic? Now, unless I see you privately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you again here next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.